Let's start by addressing the immediate, overwhelming fear you might be feeling right now. You're sitting there, waiting in complete silence, while a utility shutoff notice literally looms over your household. You submitted your application for energy assistance, but hearing absolutely nothing back while the clock ticks down, that is incredibly stressful. Today, we're taking those complex government manuals and portal guidelines and transforming them into a clear, actionable guide so you can understand exactly where your application stands. Because really, this is the #1 question on everyone's mind, right? Will the lights go out while my paperwork is just stuck in some digital line? Well, this explainer is going to help you take back control. We're going to break down exactly how to track your emergency energy assistance, how to decode all those confusing government status updates, and crucially, what to do if your application gets stuck. We'll walk through this step by step so you can confidently secure your household's energy access. Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll cover what Fast Track actually means, how to navigate these online portals, translate those weird status messages, troubleshoot any issues, avoid scams, and hit a few important reminders. So, first things first, let's understand the critical difference between a regular application and a Fast Track or crisis application. A crisis or Fast Track designation is your lifeline. It literally bypasses the standard bureaucratic queues because you're facing an immediate threat to your safety. Now, depending on your state, this generally means you currently have no heat, you have less than a 10 to 15 days supply of deliverable fuel like oil or propane, or you've actually received an active written shutoff notice from your utility company. Oh, and in some states, like Washington, crisis protocols can also kick in if you have a documented medical necessity on file and get a past due notice. And here is exactly why that Fast Track tag is an absolute game changer. A standard application, that can take anywhere from 30 to 50 days to process. In places like Ohio, it can sometimes drag on for up to 12 weeks. I mean, that is an entire season of waiting just for a status update. But if you have a Fast Track crisis application, federal mandates actually require agencies to step in rapidly. Caseworkers generally have to contact your utility vendor within 48 hours to put a hold on that shutoff, and within 18 hours if it's a life-threatening emergency. Okay, let's move on to actually navigating these state tracking portals to find your status. The absolute most crucial point to understand right out of the gate is that there is no single magical national website to check your status. Because LIHEAP is a block grant program administered locally, you have to find and use your specific state, county, or local community agency's online portal. The system in Illinois operates completely differently than the system in New York or Texas. It's kind of like a giant puzzle you have to solve locally. So before you even try to log on, you need to gather your tracking credentials. Dig out that confirmation email or the paper receipt you got when you applied. These vary wildly. In Illinois, you might need a 7-digit ID that specifically starts with the number 7. Down in Texas, it might be a 16-digit alphanumeric ID or maybe formatted like application dash followed by numbers. Other portals might just ask for the head of household's social security number and date of birth. If you've lost this ID, don't panic, but immediately check your email history, your paper receipt, or call your local community action agency to retrieve it. You absolutely need it to track your case. Finding your status generally boils down to 3 fundamental steps. First, locate the right official site. Second, authenticate your identity. A lot of states require multi-factor authentication now. For example, New York City requires a one-time passcode sent right to your phone or email. Third, once you're securely inside, navigate to the dedicated application status tracker on your user dashboard. To give you a practical example, think about the MI Bridges portal in Michigan. Guest users can't just track their status online without verifying who they are. You have to create an ID-proofed account, log in, ensure you are actually listed as the head of household, and then click the specific application status icon. If you applied via paper and didn't link it to an online account, you're probably going to have to call your local county office directly to get an update. Now, let's talk about translating your application status once you finally get in. Let's decode some of this system jargon. If you see in progress or pending review, it just means your application was received successfully and is virtually waiting in line. No human has actually looked at it yet. Now, processing, that is great news. It means a caseworker is actively auditing your files. If you see deficient or need more information, well, that's a major red flag we'll discuss in a second. It means processing has stopped entirely. Corrected means you fixed the issue and you're back in line. And finally, transferred or approved is the finish line. That means your payment has been authorized and sent to the state or your utility vendor. Which brings us to troubleshooting delays and missing documents. What happens when things get stuck? Listen, this is an absolutely critical warning. The biggest trap for first-time applicants is hitting that deficient or revisions required status. This halts your fast track processing completely. It almost always means your uploaded documents were unreadable, maybe outdated, or you just forgot something critical, like including the income of every single person living in the home or failing to attach the actual utility disconnect notice. Manual review stops the very second a caseworker hits this roadblock. If this happens, you must act incredibly fast. In places like Shelby County, Tennessee, for instance, you only have 15 days to respond to the notification and upload the missing documents. If day 15 passes and you haven't uploaded that utility bill, your application is automatically denied. Boom, done. You will usually receive an email about this, so you must frequently check your spam and junk folders. Let me repeat that. Check your spam folders. Missing that email means losing your spot in line. When you do upload, make sure you use official portals or dedicated mobile apps to ensure they attach securely to your specific case. And whatever you do, please do not submit a second application out of panic. I know it's incredibly tempting to think that applying again will speed things up, but it actually does the exact opposite. Duplicate applications trigger fraud flags, they confuse the caseworkers, and they essentially reset the clock on your processing time, pushing you all the way back to the very end of the line. Just submit your missing documents directly to your original application. Next up, avoiding scams. This is huge, because when you're stressed, you're vulnerable. You always want to look for the .gov in the website address. Official portals will frequently remind users that local, state, and federal government websites end in .gov. If you are on a .com or a .org site that is claiming to fast-track your benefits, stop and double-check it. Scammers build phishing sites designed to look exactly like state portals just to steal your social security number and your identity. Furthermore, applying for and tracking LIHEAP is always 100% free. Always. If a website asks for a processing fee, an application fee, or asks for your credit card to somehow expedite your status, it is for sure a scam. Also, be super careful of random customer support 1-800 numbers you might find on search engines. Always pull contact numbers directly from your official state or county government website. Let's wrap this up with a few really important final reminders. Please keep in mind this professional disclaimer. LIHEAP rules, portal interfaces, processing times, and even the exact definitions of what constitutes a fast-track crisis vary widely by state, by county, and even by your specific utility provider. The information we're covering here gives you the fundamental architecture of how these systems work in real life, but your local agency or state Department of Human Services is always the ultimate source of truth for your specific case. Always verify your local guidelines. Finally, we need to manage your expectations for after you actually see that approved or transferred status. The money does not go into your bank account. It goes directly to the utility company. And honestly, the system moves pretty slowly. It can take 6 to 9 weeks, and in some counties, literally up to 90 days for that credit to actually appear on your billing statement. The good news is once you're approved, your utility is officially notified of the pending payment, and they should place a hold on any shutoff actions. However, you should absolutely continue paying whatever you can on your bill in the meantime, just to help manage your balance. So you now have the exact tools, the insider knowledge, and the practical steps to bypass the confusion of these government portals. You know how to track your fast-track status online, how to troubleshoot document delays before they get you denied, how to avoid scams, and how to protect your household's energy access. You are ready to log in with confidence. But as you secure your own household, ask yourself, how many of your neighbors are currently sitting in the dark simply because they don't know how to navigate this exact system? Share this explainer with them and go check your status today.